Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation we'll be doing a video walkthrough for the Capture the Flag exercise known as Toppo. The image for this machine is available off of the Hub site, and the link for this download is available inside of the lab file. According to the author's description, this machine isn't hard to own and does not require any advanced exploitation. It's rated as a beginner level. DHCP is activated. Inside there is a zip, and you will find a VMDK file, which does work up inside a VirtualBox, and I did load it up inside a VirtualBox without any problems. So once you load up the VM up inside of your VirtualBox management console, you'll notice that it does give you the IP address. So you don't really have to do a net discovery if it's going to give you the IP address. I'm going to demonstrate this regardless, because I want everybody to understand the importance of doing intelligence gathering. So I have both my Kali and my virtual target, Toppo, running on the same network using bridge networking so they can see each other. So let's go ahead and bring up a terminal off of my Kali machine. Let's do a net discovery. Now once we type in the net discovery space -I space the name of the interface that we want to use to scan our network, which in this case is always going to be Ethernet 0. We go ahead and hit enter. Now the machine we want will always be called PCS System Technic GmbH. The IP address for this target machine is 192.168.0.31. Now the IP address for your target machine will most likely differ. So make sure that you do discover the correct IP address for your target as well as the correct IP address for your host machine. At the terminal prompt, I can just do an ifconfig, and you'll notice that my IP address for my host, my Kali machine, is 192.168.0.30. Again, this is the IP address for my machine. The IP address for your two machines will probably differ. So next thing we want to do is to find out what ports are currently available on the target that we might be able to exploit. So let's go ahead and do a full port scan using Nmap. So I've typed in Nmap space 192.168.0.31, and that is the IP address of my target. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And it comes back letting me know that it has discovered that there are 4 ports running the following services. So the first thing we want to do is go after the low-hanging fruit, and as always that's going to be port 80 running HTTP on the target machine, which means of course we have a web server. So let's just go ahead and open up a browser, and in the address bar all we're going to do is just type in the IP address of the target, and then we're going to hit enter. We pull up a nice blog page. Not much going on here, but we can go ahead and take a look at the source for this page. Spent some time scanning through this source page for the web page, and I didn't find much of any use, so we're just going to go ahead and move on with that. Next thing we got to do is run derp. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and let's bring up derp real quick, and I'm just going to type in derp. Go ahead and clear my screen first. I'll type in derp followed by http :// the IP address of the machine that we want to look for those hidden directories and files. So our derp scan is finished, and we see that we have a number of directories of interest here. Now the one that catches my eye, and should be catching your eye of course, is the admin. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside of that admin directory. We're just going to go ahead and copy that URL. Let's open up our web page, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste that on in there, see what we get. So up inside of this directory for the admin, we have a file called notes.txt. Let's go ahead and add that onto the front of our URL and see what's inside of it. And it says, note to myself, I need to change my password, and his password is 12345ted123. It's too outdated, but the technology isn't my thing. I prefer to go fishing or watching soccer. Okay, so what we got here is a password, but you'll note that inside of the password we also have a name, the name of Ted. So let's go ahead and try to use this information that we've got to establish an SSH connection to the target machine. So let's open up a terminal, and we're going to type in the following: SSH space TED at 192.168.0.31, which is the IP address of our terminal, and we want to use port 22, which is running SSH, to try to connect. Now we have to type in that password. So it's 12345 TED 123, hit enter, and we're in, but we have limited access. So what we can do now is try to figure out if there is a known exploit for this version of Linux that is running on the target. So the first thing we have to do is to discover what version of Linux is actually running. So to do this, we can type in uname space dash small letter A, and it comes back and it lets us know that it's running Debian 3.16.51-3. So the next thing we can do is we can bring up another window, and we can search for a vulnerability using search exploit. What we're going to do here is we're going to bring up, or we're just going to copy this information here like so, and we're just going to put it over here following the search exploit command. And let's see if anything pops up. And it tells us there are no results and there's no shellcodes that are available for this version of Linux. One trick that we can use is to search the binaries on the target machine and see if any of them have the SUID permission. Now that certain permission allows that particular binary to run executables. So if we can run an executable, then we might be able to either run a piece of code or upload an executable that will give us the root access that we need. So let's go ahead and look for those particular binaries. Copying this over from the lab file so I don't make any mistakes, we're using the find command. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and it comes up with a number of binaries. All of them are seen as being executable, or that they can handle executable actions. So we have Python, and we also have mock. Now mock is an interpreter that is used for the awk language, some type of programming language. I'm not all that familiar with it, but there is a command that we could run to try to get us root using mock. So let's take a look at that real quick. So using mock, we can run the snippet of code that you see at the terminal to get us a root prompt. So let's just go ahead and hit enter and see what happens. And you'll notice that I do have a # which tells me that I am now at the root of the target machine. From here we can change location over to the root directory just by using the cd command. So I'm going to type in cd, give it a /root, another /. I'm going to hit enter. Now I'm going to do an ls. It's going to show me the contents of what's inside of the root directory. Inside of here we have a flag.txt. Now I can cat this out, and we have our flag. Now the other option we had was to use the Python 2.7 binary that was currently available to us. That also will allow us to run an executable. So let's go ahead and close out this prompt. Let's open up a new one, and let's get back in with a clean SSH shell. So again, I'm going to establish a new SSH connection over to the target machine. I'm going to type in that password again, 12345 TED 123. I'm back in. Again, now we can use that command to find those binaries that have the SUID that allows them to be executable. I'll go ahead and hit enter one more time, and we see that we have the Python. Now we can run that small Python script that we should all be familiar with by now. That's going to give us that root access that we need. So we're just telling it to use Python 2.7 to run the following script. Hit enter. Notice that I have that pound sign again. That lets us know that I'm now having root access. So once I run that Python script, I'm back at the root prompt, and again we can change directories over to the root directory. I can do an ls. We have the flag.txt, and again I can just cat it out, hit enter, and again we have captured the flag using one of the two methods that was available for us for this particular capture the flag. So that's going to conclude this short video presentation on how we go about completing this capture the flag for Toppo. Now this was an easy one. It was really quick, it was easy, but it was fun. And we got to see a couple of things here. And one of the takeaways that we can use is how we go about finding those binaries that are executable using the find command. We also got to see that we could also use mock or Python in this case to launch those executable scripts. So if you have any questions or you have any concerns about any of the material that was shown to you in this short video presentation, please don't hesitate to reach out, contact your instructor, and I'll see you in my next Capture the Flag video.